an athlete.
I'm popular.
I'm a role model.
I'm a pop star.
I'm a leader. I'm a follower.
I'm unique.
Why have you never thought about doing drama or like be involved in musicals?
I would say definitely in the beginning of high school. The general connotation of drama and the arts, I don't think that's very well received among high school students. So I'd say even in like junior high and coming to here, that's just not something that I think or people think is socially acceptable, if you will.
So would you say there's a common stereotype or peer pressure to kind of almost stay away from the drama club?
Honestly, I do. I mean, I know that, people might say like it's not a big deal, but there's definitely a reason more people don't get involved, because there's a lot of good singers out there and a lot of people that like singing and doing drama-like things, but they don't even think about doing it because, I don't know, it's not the cool thing to do. Performing arts were something that I was never told of. It wasn't as, I don't know, publicly known as like sports. I think it's just a given when, someone comes into high school, they're going to be exposed to sports, or I think performing arts, that's never really given to anyone.
And then my last question is, shows like Glee and like High School Musical, the movie, do you think that was like helped accept like drama as it's almost a cool thing to do now? Because in the past it's always been looked at almost a negative thing, but now they're trying to flip-flop it and show you that it's a cool thing to do.
I think normally drama and theater was put in a light of, only the geeks do that or something like that, but now it's definitely flipped the script, and it shows normal people, athletes, smart people, dumb people, whatever, all walks of life getting into it, and I think that's a good thing.
Ever want to be in the school musical?
Yes, I wanted to be in the school musical, especially this year since it was Footloose, so there would be a lot of dancing in there, but it fell on the same weekend as our dance team state competition.
So do you think that playing these other activities outside of school that weren't involved like with school plays and stuff affected you being able to do what you actually wanted to do, like being a musical?
Yeah, just the fact that they fell on the same weekend, it affected it.
Who you hang out with, was that part of a reason that you did not try out for the musical at all?
No, I thought it would be cool to kind of be like an individual and go out of the box, because usually I don't hang out with people that are in the musical, but I thought it would be pretty fun to go out of the box and try out for the musical and be different.
Why don't you hang out with people from the musical?
They're just not in the same activities that I'm involved in, so I've never gotten the chance to hang out with them.
At Naperville North, do you think there's a common stereotype if you're involved with drama or the musicals?
I think there's always the common stereotype, just with even being involved with like an athletic or theater or anything. But yeah, I definitely think that there is a little bit of a stereotype.
So what we do as a chorus, it's about like 25-30 people. We do backup dances and we do supportive vocals for the main leads. We're a really vital part. In the chorus, it's kind of like two parts, like the children and the adults, and the adults are mainly like viewed as like a stern like role in the musical. The kids are more of like an easygoing, kind of like free-spirited. So when there's many church scenes, the adults have to be like really stern. We can't like move, and the kids are kind of like goof around and stuff like that. So.
Now, how long have you been involved with drama for?
Well, my old school, I did drama since like 3rd grade to 8th grade, and then freshman, sophomore year I didn't do it. I don't really know why. And then I started again junior year and senior year. So.
Do you think there's a common perception of people involved in drama to be different or looked down upon?
Yes, I totally agree with that stereotype. Like, I think people in drama who are involved in like musical stuff, like they are themselves, like to an extent, like they're like so much of themselves. It's not like they tone down their own personalities for other people. They are just like who they are, and they don't really care. And everyone's a lot more accepting of like, you know, their kind of strangeness. They're like interesting people. Like I've never met anyone like it is difficult for me because I guess for the musical I'm a jock because I do a sport. I do tennis. It's not really that big of a deal, but people kind of viewed me differently, and then I don't know. They all accept people for who they are.
All right, hi, I'm Rachel Bigelski, and I'm in the ensemble for Footloose.
I'm Devontae Weaver, and I play Jenner in Footloose.
Okay, and then this right here is the adult changing area, kind of the dressing room, but they're not changing right now. This is where all the costumes are for the adults in the show, because there's kids and adults.
Right here, made by the costume crew.
And there's actually so many costume changes and so many different costumes for this show that they're actually putting them for sale because there's not enough room in our costume place because there's so many costume changes.
So what's it like during an actual show? Like what's the environment like in here? Are people just running around everywhere? Like
It's pretty chaotic.
Yeah.
Like it's a good time, but there's a lot of chaos most of the time. Just ask
I'm John Brown.
I'm Uma Galani.
And what's going on today
At
for
the musical
is we're basically just running through it and spiking, as they call it. Where
So
like,
we know where all the props have to go
Yeah.
and all the lighting and the music. So it's
going
basically
on.
not the acting aspect, but like the technical and musical aspect.
3, 4, come in, 6, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
what do you guys do when you're not actually on stage or singing or anything?
Uma, what do we do?
We hang out with our friends, make jokes, get
Yeah.
yelled at for being too loud,
Make new friends.
make new friends, be friends with everybody.
That's the fun part.
We have like little like weird secret musical games that we just play.
Oh, we're gonna give him cornrows.
Here, I'll get it out of the way.
Okay,
I just warn you, my hair doesn't like people.
it's okay. And
Try to be funny. Say how
or
this
just
is
like
a normal
insert
thing.
it. Mr. South, of course, the only film teacher.
Auditorium entrance for the
They're gonna pass out your mics. Generally, you guys have to come get your own mic. You put one piece of tape on your face, one on like the back of your neck. Some people like different places or whatever. Make sure that you put your mic on with the dot facing out. Like on the little mic part, there's a dot. It has to be facing out. Yeah.
Yellow things.
Pretty much.
I have no idea.
And you want to have it on your waist.
Are you a freshman? Is this your first time getting? It's your first time getting mic'd?
Yes, it is.
So on average, how many people get mic'd each act or each scene?
It's not right now.
Good question. This is like one of my first shows here, so
Okay.
I wouldn't know.
Total mic, I think there's like 26 people.
26. Wow, that's a lot of mics.
People share mics too.
People share mics.
Depending on what scene it is, they will share mics. Like I was looking at the list, and like 3 people are sharing one mic depending on the scene.
So how many people get like headsets on?
Headsets for tech.
Like see, it's like
the stage managers and people up in the booth.
okay. So when you're saying like you have to share a mic, what exactly is that?
In different scenes, when one character isn't actually in the scene, they'll share a mic with someone else. They'll take it off and give it to someone else.
Michael, what is your role in this year's musical?
My role in this year's musical is Ren McCormick.
What's Ren's role in the whole entire musical?
Ren is like the less egotistical way of saying it. He's the lead, and this show kind of centers around him and his journey to a new small town from Chicago to Beaumont, Texas.
And he's a big dancer, and when he goes to Beaumont, he figures out that dancing is against the law because of an accident that had happened 4 years prior that had killed some students after they went dancing. So dancing's been prohibited, and his whole goal of moving to Beaumont once he gets there is to get dancing looked at in a better light again, and let people have fun.
Okay, so at this point, music starts, and freedom. Looking into your eyes, I know I'm right. If there's anything worth it, it's worth a fight. No one can tie my hands or make me change my plans. I'm crossing the line, bumping the track, taking what's mine and not looking back. Heaven helps the man who finds his feet.
Why do you think you got casted as this role?
I think I got casted in this role because the part requires a lot of vocal ability, and I study diligently as a performer of vocal music, and I have some acting experience, but like I'm actually very different than the character I play. My character is very angsty, and he's very kind of like rebellious teen, and I'm not that. I'm very like laid back and kind of like to be a little more adult-like, and he's very gung-ho for his age and generation, where I'm waiting to get out of this and just be an adult. So
why do you do musicals?
I do musicals because I don't know how to do anything else.
My name is Kenneth Tao. For the musical right now, I'm like assistant stage manager on left side.
So assistant stage manager, that's everything that goes behind the scenes. What exactly do you do then?
Supposedly I overview the entire musical. I check in with the stage manager to see if everything's all right. Basically, I'm like second, third eyes of the stage manager.
Dad's still not crazy about me seeing. You better tell me who's doing that. You tell him! I will. Reverend Moore! Maybe not right now. I'm not in the mood for this service. Bye now. Go home!
What would you say is the importance of being a tech crew member?
I guess it's like, if life was the musical, we're basically we make the foundations, we like make everything run smoothly. Everything you do is like, everything they do and the actors, we make sure that they do it correctly.
Massive painting, and it's crazy fun. And this girl is awesome at painting.
Who is it?
Maddie.
Hi, Maddie. Hello.
And you can see all of your canvas is being hung back up there.
Excuse me, guys?
And we have to get it dry before you guys come in here in an hour.
Oh my gosh.
And then we painted the choir loft and did all that, and we've been painting and doing lights and blackout.
It's been a grand old party.
So this is the boombox, and our artist is coming in and adding knobs and buttons to it, and you can see she's doing all this crazy painting job. And then here's where the fog comes out for your scene.
What scene is that?
That's the on top of the bridge, almost paradise. So it's on here, and there's one on the other side. So we have two fog machines. We'll go in the back and show you.
What kind of fog is it?
Dry ice.
Nice.
So you want to see it? You want to see where it comes from? So that's where it comes out, and there's a big pipe that runs into a machine.
Yeah, you see the pipe right here.
How long is it taking you guys to make this happen?
This took us about 20 minutes this morning, but to make the fog happen, we have to load this with water in here, and then this comes down and is loaded with dry ice, and then there's a control panel right over here. It turns it on, gets it going, it powers through the pipe and comes out the other end. So while you guys are up there,
through this pipe
hear
here,
this machine going. You can see the pipe goes, and that silver plat that I showed at the front,
Yeah.
that's where it comes out. So you can see where it's. Gobos are metal sheets that are about this big. Actually, here, let's walk this way. I can show you, and they can be made out of glass. We store all of our gobos back here, in here, but they're like little sheets that are about this big. And we have B size, so these are about this big. And it's how you make light. Normally just comes in a beam. It's that shape, because otherwise it would just be a solid beam of light, but it's actually shaped and colored. So that's the cool part about that.
How long have you been on stage building and painting, and how long has Tech Crew been on stage?
We've been on, this is Saturday morning, so we've been here since 9 a.m. painting, and it's now 12:30, but we've done probably, oh my goodness, we've done a lot of hours. It's because we are here every night during practice doing something painting-wise. While you guys are on stage this afternoon, while the actors are on stage, we're taking our stained glass windows that are being built, and Stephanie's painting them and adding the gels that'll make them work. And so, I mean, there's people working pretty much around the clock.
Bakeracus? And what are you doing here? What is your job?
They're all the same size.
The artist.
I am basically helping you guys make this look more three-dimensional to the crowd.
Nice. And is this your job? Is this something you do?
Yeah, actually at the Hollywood Boulevard is where I work, and that's what I do on a regular basis. Each theater has a different theme, so we have to make it look as authentic to the theme as we possibly can. Doing it as cheap as we can, you know, because they're huge theaters.
And how long have you been working on just this Footloose set?
About a week.
About a week?
Yeah. Actually, like 1, 2, 3 days, maybe 4.
This is a stained glass window that we created for the Church of Beaumont. And it is made out of gels that are basically like overhead slides but colored, and our wooden frame here. And this took about 6 hours of work to complete today. We worked on it for about 4 yesterday, so this is a 10-hour project that we completed and are very proud of.
Isn't she a magician?
Hopefully it will look lovely hung on stage.
Are there any more of these that you have to do?
2.
2 more. So 20 more hours?
Our next couple of days.
Yeah.
Pretty. Thank you. So this is my new baby. This is PIA number 1. And that's what we named it. Standing for pain in the ass. I don't know if you're allowed to.
I'm Ryan, essentially aka Screw Bucket.
And what are your positions up here?
Right now I am the lighting board operator.
And I'm follow spot operator.
So you want to show me around what goes on up here?
Sure. Since you're working lights, I'm going to point to this general direction. This is the sound portion of the booth. It's where we control mics, the floor mics, the hanging mics, as well as any soundtracks and music tracks if we have them. And we can also monitor mic power up here. It's also very complex.
Okay. God mics, that's what you call it?
Yeah.
So what goes on over here?
This is our new light board. 2 touch screens, and we have lots of control over all the lights up here. It's complicated.
It's complicated?
Yeah.
So how are you like on track with everything? Like how do you know when to cue everything?
Oh.
That's you?
Well, it's not necessarily me. I'm the rehearsal stage manager, and so there's a person down there wearing one of these, and what she does is she has cues, so you can see there's like cue numbers. So right now we're at 73 for the course of the show. So we're on page 36 of the show, and we have 73 cues. And so what happens is,
At the appropriate times, the stage manager will call the cues, and I will press this button, which will make things happen. Go. Scene change, go.
in our law's programs. This morning let's remind ourselves that this law is about more than just dancing. This law is a tribute to 4 young people who held the promise.
I really wanted to get involved in theater, but I didn't exactly have much stage presence at the time, and my voice was so high-pitched I could probably translate for mice. So I decided to, work backstage because I was really interested in building and lights and all of that. Over time, I started, getting different jobs. I've worked my tech, state monkey, which is moving props around. Done a bit of rail. I've done lights. This is my first time with Spotlight. There's a lot of jobs to get done, and even if I try out for a play and don't make it, there's pretty much always a spot for me here.
Is Dana Green, and I'm the orchestra director at Naperville North High School.
Can you tell me exactly what you do for the musicals here at Naperville North?
Well, we get music in December, and I begin preparation as soon as we receive it. Preparations include making sure the page turns are good, copying music, marking bowings, making sure there are no mistakes in the score, and distributing it to the kids. At that point, once the kids have the music in their hands, we begin rehearsal before we bring it all together. The idea is to run through the entire show, get all the kinks out of it before we have to put it together the week or two before the show opens. So instrumentally, I'm in charge of everything that happens below the stage, and then once we put everything together, I'm the one unifying force between the vocalists and the instrumentalists, so bringing together these two disparate forces and trying to make sure it's all seamless and smooth.
How do you think Naperville North compares to other high schools for musicals?
Well, being from the south suburbs, I went to Homewood Flossmoor High School, HF, and I participated in the musical every year that I was a student there. Preparation here is more rigorous and more plentiful, and our schedules are absolutely way busier than down south at HF. Rehearsal time is maybe triple what we had down in HF.
And then a lot of students have been saying that Footloose, it's supposed to be a huge hit this year, and there's really high expectations. What's your view on that? Like, how do you think things are changing at Naperville North through the musicals?
Well, I think that this is going to be a crowd pleaser. There are going to be a lot of, let's call them special effects. I think that the storyline, authoritative oppression is something that resounds with teenagers, as we all have parents and teachers that are telling us what to do. So I think that this storyline is really going to appeal to the population at North, and parents as well, because they grew up watching this movie, Footloose, and it's been a favorite of faculty members for that reason, because they're familiar with it.
My name is Nick Jansen.
And what is your role in this year's musical for Footloose?
This year's musical production of Footloose, I am the stage director and the music director and the choreographer.
Why did you decide to come to Naperville North, and how long have you been in musicals for?
Oh, I've been doing musicals since I was in probably, it's got to be before middle school, so elementary school. And I just really always enjoyed performing on stage, and I've been doing them since that time, and I've directed several professionally here in the last about 10 years.
Okay. So why did you decide to come to Naperville North High School for the musical?
Sure. Well, I was very fortunate to be hired on as the new director of vocal music here at Naperville North, which puts the musical into my job description. And it's been a great transition, working with great kids, and it's been really exciting directing this year.
And why did you choose Footloose as the musical for this?
Sure, I chose Footloose because I thought it would be something that, number one, all students could relate to. I thought it would bring some new faces into our music program here in Naperville North, some people that would be interested in this show, and I also thought it would be something that our audiences and our community would really enjoy.
So what is to be expected in this year's musical?
Well, I think this year people can expect to be entertained. The musical is very much a spectacle. There's a lot going on visually, in addition to the acting and the singing and the dancing. And I think with this show, it brings a really heightened sense of energy, and it's a show that kids of this age can relate to, so they've put a lot of themselves into the energy for the production.
I am behind the scenes.
I'm a dancer.
I am the god of theater.
I'm a rookie.
I'm the lead.
I'm ensemble.
I'm the best at what I do.
I am the conductor.
I'm a dreamer.
Naperville North presents Footloose!
I do musicals because I don't know how to do anything else.